The Anschluss, the annexation of Austria into Nazi Germany in March 1938, was a pivotal moment in the lead-up to World War II. This event not only marked the violent expansion of Adolf Hitler's Third Reich but also exposed the weaknesses of the post-World War I international order. The Anschluss was driven by a mix of nationalism, political pressure and military intimidation, reshaping the map of Europe and emboldening Nazi ambitions. Background: Austria after World War I. Following the collapse of the Austro-Hungarian Empire after World War I, the newly formed Republic of Austria was a small, landlocked nation struggling economically and politically. Many Austrians, particularly German-speaking ones, favored unification with Germany, a sentiment rooted in shared language, culture, and history. However, the Treaty of Saint-Germain, 1919, explicitly forbade Austria from uniting with Germany to prevent the resurgence of a powerful German-speaking bloc in Central Europe. The rise of Nazism in Austria. Throughout the 1920s and early 1930s, Austria grappled with political instability, economic hardship, and the rise of extremist movements. Austrian Nazis, inspired and supported by Hitler's regime, sought to overthrow the government and achieve Anschluss. By 1933, Austria was under an authoritarian regime led by Chancellor Engelbert Dollfuss, who suppressed the Nazi Party and other opposition groups to maintain Austrian independence. Dollfuss was assassinated in a failed Nazi coup in 1934, illustrating the growing tension. Hitler's ambitions and diplomatic pressure. When Hitler rose to power in Germany in 1933, he openly declared his desire for Anschluss as part of his vision of a greater Germany. Throughout the mid-1930s, Nazi Germany increased pressure on Austria, supporting Austrian Nazis and threatening military intervention. Despite diplomatic protests from other European powers, Hitler capitalized on Austria's internal divisions and the widespread pro-German sentiment. The Anschluss, March 1938. In February 1938, under intense pressure and threats of invasion, Austrian Chancellor Kurt Schuschnigg agreed to a referendum on Austrian independence. Before the vote could take place, Hitler demanded the resignation of Schuschnigg and the appointment of Nazi sympathizer Arthur Seyss-Inquart as Chancellor. On March 12, 1938, German troops crossed into Austria unopposed, greeted by jubilant crowds in many cities. The Anschluss was declared the next day, formally annexing Austria into the Third Reich. Aftermath and international reaction. The Anschluss was ratified by a controlled plebiscite in April 1938, with an overwhelming majority reportedly supporting unification, though the vote was conducted under intimidation and propaganda. The international community largely failed to respond effectively. Britain and France protested but took no action, adopting a policy of appeasement toward Hitler's aggression. For Austria's Jewish population and political dissidents, the Anschluss was disastrous. Nazi racial laws and repression were swiftly imposed, leading to persecution, dispossession, and eventual deportation to concentration camps. Significance of the Anschluss. The annexation of Austria was a major step in Hitler's aggressive expansion that would soon engulf Europe in war. It emboldened Nazi Germany, demonstrated the impotence of Western democracies to enforce peace, and set the stage for further invasions, starting with Czechoslovakia and Poland. The Anschluss also symbolized the failure of the post-World War I order to contain nationalist ambitions and prevent another global conflict. The Anschluss was not just a territorial acquisition, it was a chilling prelude to the horrors of World War II. It revealed the dangerous mix of nationalism, authoritarianism, and international complacency. The unification of Austria with Nazi Germany forever altered the course of European history and serves as a stark reminder of the consequences when the world fails to confront aggression early.